What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 2 of IGN's live coverage from Comic Con, brought to you by The Evil Within and Lucy. I'm Damon Hatfield. I'm just looking over the schedule here. We have a fantastic show for you today, full of guests, great panel discussions, conversations. Just in a very short time, we're going to have Daniel Radcliffe here on the show. We're going to have Cliff Bleszinski here on the show. Reports from the Guardians of the Galaxy. Selma Hayek is going to be here on the show. It's really, really.
I'm talking to her.
Damn it, it's on. Oh, I wasn't fast enough.
That was just decided right now.
Caught up in the hair.
Viewers, you can be part of the conversation with us here on the show. Just like IGN on Facebook, ask us questions there. We'll answer them live here. If you have questions for our guests, just use a hashtag IGN Live. Here to help me set the stage for day 2 from Comic Con, Greg, Roth, Scott, Marty. Gentlemen and lady, how are we feeling? First of all, I want to say I'm proud of everybody. The IGN and Sin City 2 party was last night, and we're all very functional.
Oh, yeah. Made it.
Moderately.
Yeah, we did it.
I would call myself moderately functional.
Moderately functional.
More than
Functional
entirely.
That's all we can strive for.
You're slowly shutting down quadrants of your brain.
We're just hearing, what's going to be the big news today? We're starting to hear some news about Last of Us movie.
Right.
Probably a good place to start is in.
Yeah. Sure, Sam Raimi.
So coming out of the Screen Gems panel in Hall H, Sam Raimi we already knew is a producer in the movie, and Neil Druckmann's writing the screenplay. But they didn't talk about a release date or anything. But they did talk that they have met with potential casting for Ellie, and it was Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, Arya Stark.
Arya Stark.
Yeah.
So huge.
Seems really good.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Right.
amazing.
I approve.
What's crazy about this is that this all started literally with an IGN fan. He tweeted at Ashley Johnson saying, hey, I think Maisie Williams would be a great fit for Ellie in the movie. Ashley Johnson responded saying, that's pretty much my dream. Maisie responded, 100% would not say no ever. And then Neil Druckmann said, that makes 2 of us. This was in April.
And then we don't have the next week, but you probably just talked about chicken wings.
I was like, oh man, that's great. Come on up at noon. Thanks for including me on this, Christian.
Yeah, but that is, anyone who watched, especially the last season of Game of Thrones knows that is perfect casting. Like,
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
She'll nail Ellie.
Yeah. So then the big question is who's going to play Joel?
Sure.
And the big other question is how much of a cut of the film do we actually get as IGN for creating?
That's, I guess, the only question.
Yeah, that's
the real question is that.
So
where's the money?
Does it seem like one of those video game movies that'll really happen, or is it one of those that just they talk about and then never happens?
This one seems like it's really going to happen, right? They have Sam Raimi, they have Neil Druckmann. The fact that Neil's writing it is what, for me, makes me think. Like, I'm peeking out of the ground here. Like, could this be the first good video game movie before I duck back down to see what bomb hits?
Oh, no, don't you? I have really high hopes for Warcraft as the first truly. Oh,
Don't
wow.
make that face.
I know the story of Warcraft is so rich and vibrant that, yeah, I'm really. If they could get Battleship's story right, they'll get Warcraft's story
Duncan
right.
Jones, though.
Yeah.
Duncan Jones. I have a lot of faith in Duncan Jones. I have a lot of faith in him as a director. I mean, we'll see. Time will tell, right? But I feel like you could get a good video game movie out of that film. We'll see.
There's a higher level of talent coming on these
Yeah.
projects now, because you have Tom Hardy, Michael Fassbender,
Yeah,
right?
with Splinter
got
Cell
it.
and Assassin's
Sure.
Creed.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
There's a whole wealth of opportunity to have
They're finally
good...
taking advantage. Yeah, it's not just
One
gonna
of
be
these
Doom.
movies just has to be
Well,
good, right?
Another one
of
is
them's gonna be
they're making another Hitman movie, Hitman
Yeah.
Agent 47,
That's right.
and that'll be on the show.
Yeah.
We have stars from that show.
Very cool.
You raise a good
picture.
point. That'll be on the show today. The panel will be today.
They'll answer the
That'll
questions.
be the good one. There's a lot of stuff going on today for TV, too. That's kind of the big day today. Tomorrow's going to be the big comic book
Hall
movie
H
day, Hall
movie
H day. We're going to get all our Shazam news probably
Well,
tomorrow, is
don't
my
jump the
guess.
gun, but-
I'm jumping the gun.
Spoilers.
It's the internet.
That's what we're paid to
That's
do.
what we're
is
paid to
jump
do,
the
is
gun.
jump the gun and make assumptions as if they're fact.
Well,
They
speaking
talked
of
to
game-
Maisie Williams, and we're like, perfect casting.
Perfect
When are they
casting,
shooting?
it's a done deal.
Yeah, so Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is today, and what we expect out of the Game of Thrones panel is we won't have footage, but we probably will have casting news about the next season, and it'll probably give book readers a good idea of, well, they already have a good idea where the show is going to go, but some of the people that'll be playing their favorite characters that we're looking forward to seeing. So I would keep an eye out for that. As soon as the Game of Thrones panel is done, you can keep it locked to IGN, and I'm sure we'll have some casting
We'll have
news.
breaking news.
We'll be talking on it
But the
And then there's
after the
Walking
panel
Dead.
here.
I have to say, the best thing about the Game of Thrones panel every year is the line outside Hall H, because there's about 10,000 people dressed as the Khaleesi.
You can have your pick of Khaleesi's.
Yeah, there are Khaleesi's everywhere. Some have
This is
dragons.
for everybody.
Yeah.
We'll have Walking Dead today as well. There will be footage from that because they've been shooting for several weeks now, so they'll probably have. Usually, what they do is they have a little teaser, some footage, and then what's great about The Walking Dead is then they release online almost immediately, and we can all see it.
Yay.
Yeah, I've been walking through the hall. You see the big promo banner with all the characters in handcuffs. I'm like, yep, excited again.
And they have a mock-up of Terminus, which is where the season ended, and they've got the actors dressed as zombies walking around in there, which is really creepy.
And I understand you can have.
I'm sorry to break it to you.
Isn't there a barbecue? I heard Galian Hurd was here with us yesterday, and she said that there was a Terminus barbecue where you could actually go and like get some barbecue.
I would not eat that barbecue.
Yeah, I'm not going to eat that.
I would not trust it from that lady.
What else do we have going on? We got Korra today. We have some. Coming in on the show, we've got Horns. So we have Daniel Radcliffe, as mentioned, but his panel will be up for Horns today. We have Tusk, which is this totally insane horror movie from the mind of Kevin Smith. And I'm telling you guys, I mentioned this, if you listen to his podcast, you can hear him pitch the entire movie, and then he went and made it.
So is there a thread between Horn and Tusk? You got Antlers coming up next. You like that one?
Horns sounds really cool, though, actually.
Yeah.
Horns is, Daniel Radcliffe wakes up and he suddenly has these sort of diabolical powers, right? And he has to solve the murder of his girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of it, and we'll get into this later on the panel when we talk to him, but the idea of Horns is that, yes, his girlfriend is murdered, the town is blaming him for it, they're acting as if he's a demon, and he wakes up with horns, and that unleashes a series of events.
Yeah, it's based off the book by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of.
That is a fun fact.
I'm having fun with that fact.
We're all having fun.
What is this Doctor Strange news that we're hearing rumors about?
So the big rumor. I mean, the cool thing about Comic Con too is I feel like this is when they unleash a lot of news because they're trying to like
Unleash
get us to talk.
the news.
Unleash the news. So the rumor is that Joaquin Phoenix is potentially in talks to play Doctor Strange. The reason we were just talking about this a little earlier. Two things. One, we interviewed Kevin Feige last week, and he said that we would probably get Doctor Strange news soon, but not maybe by Saturday.
Right.
And I also don't see Joaquin Phoenix as being a guy that's going to sign on for 6 or 7 movies.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
But who are the other guy they were just rumoring?
Well, it was Benedict Cumberbatch, but that was just a rumor. There was no, there was no
Jared
basis.
Leto rumors, right?
Yeah. Jared Leto at least seemed to have some basis in there were talks or something. But the Cumberbatch thing, it seems like that was just fans hoping that would happen.
Okay. So, no, go ahead. No,
Joaquin Phoenix was also up for Lex Luthor in Batman vs. Superman, and I believe that the talk at that time was that he didn't take the role because he didn't want to be tied into a franchise. So Marvel wants like your firstborn and you to do 7 movies. So for him, it would be cool for him to do Doctor Strange, but I don't know.
Is that your first choice though for Doctor Strange? As long as we're speculating about nothing, who would you guys like to see as Doctor Strange?
I don't know who Doctor Strange is.
It's the weirdest thing. I looked at Damon's face and he just started to look a little panicked, and I was like, "Did I say something? Or have I?"
He's just like Julia Roberts. I mean,
the Cumberbatch makes sense. He's got the build for it, right?
Yeah.
And then if you gave him the crazy facial hair, it would be an easy fit.
That go-to is that Johnny Depp has essentially been playing Doctor Strange for the past 15 years.
He plays everybody.
Right. Yeah.
So I want Joaquin Phoenix, but I want that to mean that Paul Thomas Anderson's directing it.
Oh, man.
He's doing The Master, he's doing Inherent Vice, and now Paul Thomas Anderson's Doctor Strange.
And then there can be a
Unfortunately,
reunion.
there's already a director.
There can be a her reunion because Scarlet Witch, who was the
There
computer
you
in
go.
her, and
Okay,
there
I
you
like
go.
where this is going.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson was anyway.
Did I say call her Scarlet Witch?
You're getting eaten alive in the comments right now.
We're all over the place.
That's what it's all about. It's Comic Con. Everything is here.
Yeah.
We should also mention Kingsman, right?
Yes.
Oh, Kingsman
gonna be on
on
the
the show
show.
today too.
Yeah.
That looks so cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Talk a little bit about it.
So this is Matthew Vaughn, who made X-Men First Class, and he made the first Kick-Ass, and he's adapting another comic by Mark Millar, who created Kick-Ass as well. And it's basically a super secret spy kind of thing in Britain, and it looks really cool. I mean, you might have seen the trailer before X-Men, I think it played with.
Yeah, it's Colin Firth, which is like, everybody I feel like knows Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy, basically, or a Mr. Darcy-like character.
Yeah, a nice dude.
A A very gentlemanly British man.
Right.
And he is in this too, but he's also completely kicked butt.
Right.
He trained really hard for it.
You've read the book, right? You read Secret Service, Scott? Did you?
No,
read
I
it?
actually haven't
Oh,
read Secret Service.
I read Secret Service,
Okay.
and he's going to be kicking ass and killing people and breaking things and like noses and bones and joints. It's going to be crazy.
And
to
you
see
know-
Colin Firth from Love Actually do all this.
There are actually 2 Jedi Knights in this movie as well. Mark Hamill and Sam Jackson are
Yeah.
both in this movie. So, you know, I mean,
Wow, that's
and
expanded
Michael
universe.
Caine, who is an actual knight, an English version of a knight, Sir Michael
He's
Caine.
Alfred. He always will be. that's the highest honor any of us can ever hope in the world.
We've also got something you love tonight, Arrow.
Oh, I love
I know.
Arrow too. I also love
We all
Arrow.
love
Oh,
it.
you do?
Yeah.
I did
yeah.
not know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
only knew that the love was here. I didn't
Yeah.
know it was.
Damon's a
big
late
three.
convert. He's coming
I've
around.
just started watching
He
Arrow.
finally
I'm-
listened to me. He
yeah.
finally let some of the DC wisdom get into his beautiful mind.
DC Wisdom smells bad.
But yeah,
That's
the
what it
panels
is.
tonight, right?
The panel for Arrows tonight, they will be joining us, I believe, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Some of the cast
That's
will
a
be
day
joining-
3 preview for
That's-
you.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna have Arrow on
I'm
here.
jumping the gun again.
Spoilers, they're coming tomorrow.
Greg is
Arrow-
going to try just his darndest. He has a panel before.
Yeah, I go and host the Skybound panel with Robert Kirkman and Norman Reedus, and so I have to miss the Flash section of our show tomorrow. However, I will then take the Flash's powers and run from San Diego Comic Con all the way here to make sure I interview Arrow.
We're across the street from the convention.
So when I get here, winded, completely sweaty, and I'm talking to Stephen Amell, you'll all know why.
I love the idea that you take that power and you use it to go 2 blocks.
I gotta be fast, Marty.
Marty, what's going on with games today?
This morning we already had big news out of the Halo Master Chief panel, and that was so they're doing the 6 maps from Halo 2. They're remastering them for the Chief Collection in sort of like the Halo 5 engine, ostensibly. And the newest map they've announced is Zanzibar, which is sort of that fan favorite from Halo 2. Everyone remembers it as it's sort of this like Tuscan waterside base that is very sort of asymmetrical, but everyone was playing it for Team Slayer and for single flag, capture the flag. That was one that we all just sort of assumed, like on Podcast Beyond. Podcast Unlocked. Don't know about
Beyond,
podcasts.
your number one source for Halo information.
We were talking about that, and that was sort of the one, like the given, and so that was exciting.
So remastered means what?
So it means that you're going to get to play, obviously the Master Chief Collection. You're going to get all 110 maps that have been in Halos 1 through 4, but they're taking those 6 specific maps from 2, and they're upgrading the fidelity of the maps and sort of rejiggering them, sort of with the mindset for what a Halo 5 map's going to be like. So it's going to be with that alongside the Halo 5 beta. That's sort of going to be the first almost like taste test of what multiplayer in Halo 5 is going to be, which is exciting.
Now, Damon,
Yeah.
you've been asking for Facebook questions.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have one ready. They went to our
Prayers
Facebook page. They liked
answered.
us. Dave says, so it was recently revealed that Maisie is in talks to star in Ellie and Last of Us. Yeah, we just covered this, Dave. Jeez. Who do you think they should cast as Joel and Tess? Here's my problem with all the Joel casting. A lot of people are sending images of the guy from Hell on Wheels. They're sending Hugh Jackman, and you're only basing it on the fact that they have beards.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Marty should be Joel.
Half of the IGN staff should be Joel.
Steve Butts, Joel.
Well, that's a common fan casting thing, which
Right.
is that, and I mean, it's understandable. You know what someone looks like, and you picture that. And I think the art in being a filmmaker is that you
Right.
can see something else in the actor, and then you make them look like the character.
Yeah.
So
That even happened, and in the reverse even happens, I feel like, when somebody gets cast, like when Jennifer Lawrence got cast in The Hunger Games, and that fan base went insane because she's blonde and not a brunette, and
Right.
the whole thing is like, right, she'll dye her
No
hair.
way
it's
they
not-
can change the color of her hair. It's perfect.
Right.
What didn't Hugh Jackman in Prisoners sort of look like?
Yeah,
Joel?
I think that's the image they're using.
Yeah.
And I love Hugh Jackman, but the problem I think is that Hugh Jackman is too established in nerddom as Wolverine.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him in another huge
now
nerd.
you're
property.
typecasting
I
him.
am. You're right. I'm giving
Hey,
you
and-
my problem.
and
Did
he's
you
back.
ask for my opinion, Dave? You did. Here it comes. Eat it up.
he's also
Anyway.
he's also Van Helsing, right? So,
Well,
Most importantly, he's Van Helsing. Yeah.
But you see more and more of that. I mean, you see, look
Okay.
at Chris Evans has been like in 96 comic book movies.
Well,
at
sure,
this
but
point.
Fantastic Four always sucks. So he just jettisoned away from that, and he's like, "I'll be in a
Into
successful
Cap,
bye."
and then
Je-
Snowpiercer.
Jessica Alba's like, "Don't leave me."
I don't think that's
right.
how any of that works.
All right, so that's just a taste
I
of
say
what's
Josh Brolin.
I just want Daniel Day-Lewis.
you can
Josh
apparently
Brolin
play
is Thanos.
Clive Owen from Sin City.
Oh, I like that.
Let's take a look at what we've got coming up in the next hour here on the live show. Do we have that schedule?
There it is.
Up next, we've got Daniel Radcliffe talking about his movie Horns.
I call that
Then
one.
we're gonna
Scat.
then we're gonna take a look
As long
at
as I get Salma, that's all right.
Fine.
take a look at Super Smash Bros. On 3DS. We're gonna have the cast from Bates Motel, and then we're gonna be talking about Batman's 75th anniversary with Jim Lee. Greg, is that
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Jim Lee, Dan from DC, everybody's here.
That should be fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
Joshua will be here as well.
So don't go anywhere. Those of you at home, we have a huge day planned for you here. Day 2 from Comic Con. We'll be right back after these messages.